This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Wednesday, September 28th, and today's pod is the best one yet.
It's a T-Boy, baby.
If it's your birthday, it is the best day of the year.
If you own any stocks,
Yeah.
it's not.
No, literally, because stocks just fell to their lowest level of the year.
Worst one yet for stocks, best one yet for this show.
We whipped up a T-Boy. Jack, what's our first story today?
Domino's Pizza has been worried about one thing all year: pizza fatigue.
Well, a new report just revealed that you can't stop pizza. Don't stop it.
For our second story, TikTok is #1 in the App Store in the category for national security threats.
So the U.S. is creating the Department of TikTok.
The DOT.
The whole DOT.
And our third and final story is Harley Davidson. They just spun off the first ever pure play electric motorcycle stock.
Like Arya Stark, they're now heading out into the blue ocean.
But Yetis, before we hit that fantastic mix,
Woke up this morning, didn't expect this mix. Love this mix, Jack.
we want to tell you one of the best pieces of advice we ever got, and we got it when we launched this T-Boy show.
Honestly, Jack, maybe the best piece of advice in the entire media industry.
Here it is. There are only two voices that you should care about as a creator.
What other creators think and what your audience thinks.
The only feedback that Nick and I listen to is from fellow Potters
Yeah.
and from you, our listeners.
If my mom stops listening to this pod and gives Jack and me feedback, we're not going to pay attention to it.
Unless she launches a show, and then we'll pay attention to it.
You're right. That's a good point. That's the tryst.
So Yetis, today we're dropping a survey because we want your feedback.
Jack and I whipped up a 25-question, 7-minute survey. That's it.
We got a link to the survey in this pod's episode description.
Because we talk to you every day, but we want to know, where are you from?
What else do you listen to?
Should our first merch drop be crew necks or should it be hoodies?
Should we launch dad hats or trucker hats?
Slammin' Salmon or Tucson T-Bone?
And most importantly, what else can we do to make T-Boy truly T-Boy?
These are the hard-hitting questions in the 7-minute survey we spent like 3 weeks preparing for you.
But besties, Nick and I know that guac's always extra.
And we also know we're asking you to serve us some free extra guac.
That's why 13 lucky Yetis who complete the survey are going to get a free first edition T-Boy t-shirt.
If you fill out our survey, you're entered in a raffle, not for some NFT. We're talking a real tea.
13 winners, a baker's dozen.
There are only 2 things that Jack and I care about.
And one of them is you.
That survey link right here in today's episode description.
We love you. That's why we want to hear from you.
Let's hit our 3 stories, baby.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, one stock that actually rose to start the week, Domino's Pizza.
Because, Nick, pizza is always trending.
If you disagree with that statement, you're going to have to wait till our takeaway. Jack, hold the Clorox and the toilet paper. Domino's stock doubled during the pandemic.
But Domino's stock, Ann Arbor's finest Domino's stock, has fallen by 40% recently.
And it's all because of the pizza fatigue theory.
One Wall Street analyst coined the phrase pizza fatigue theory this July.
Okay, well, this Sir Isaac Newton over there believed that after 2 years of pizza pounding that crust from the couch, you would want to switch it up. You were tired of ordering a
the
pizza.
pandemic's over. It's time to drop the deep dish.
You're exhausted of the sausage pies.
You're pooped with the pepperoni.
Yeah, marinara, no thank you.
But then another investment banker jumped in and did a survey to test the pizza fatigue hypothesis.
And the results, Jack, can you whip them up for us?
We can reject the null hypothesis.
The hypothesis hath been destroyed. Get these numbers.
80% of us, according to the survey, intend to hold steady or increase our pizza spending in the next 6 months.
In fact, so far this year, we're averaging about 1 pizza pie order per month per person. That's not too shabby.
The pandemic is waning. That's still a lot of pizza.
We've done what we finally wanted people to do, Jack. We've normalized the adult pizza party. It's now a thing, finally.
It seems Ricky Bobby was right, Yetis.
America did invent pizza. Grazie mille. Means thank you very much.
Okay, we need to include that clarifier because I had no idea.
But Yetis, here's what Jack and I find fascinating about this pizza fatigue story. It's not just that pizza is back, baby.
Specifically, Americans are demanding Domino's pizza.
That same research revealed that 70% of us people who eat food are sick to our stomachs of delivery app fees.
You know who we're talking about. DoorDash, Uber, Grubhub. The fees are so high, we're not ordering pie.
Yeah, you got delivery fees, fee fees, driver fees, and more fee fees.
But Domino's isn't one of those third-party delivery apps. Historically, Domino's has always done their own delivery.
Domino's still hires their own full-time fleet to drop off your Sicilian slices. No fees, no fees.
So Nick, let me get this straight. We've learned two things here. One, Americans are still craving pizza.
Exactly, Jack. But we've also learned that we're craving pizza without a delivery fee.
All signs, Yetis, are pointing to Domino's, so that investment bank, they upgraded the stock.
So, Jack, what is the takeaway for our buddies chowing down on a margarita right now?
Pizza is always trending.
All right, Yetis. Before the pandemic, pizza was the product picked for big parties.
Because nothing feeds 20 people like 10 pies.
During the pandemic, pizza was picked because it was takeout friendly.
Pasta's no good in a takeout container.
Nah.
Pizza was made for that cardboard box.
But now, as the pandemic wanes, pizza is just jumping on the inflation train.
What's more economical than a 16-inch pie and some breadsticks for a family of 4?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Jack, because my face was covered in buffalo mozzarella.
Pizza is always trending.
For our second story, in order to stay in the United States, TikTok has to make a surprise deal with the U.S. government.
That deal? It's basically forming the U.S. Department of TikTok.
The U.S. D-O-double-T.
I like that.
Should we roll with that?
Let's
Let's go with that one. Let's go with that one. We just rebranded it in real
That's
time,
the
Jack.
brief. That's the brief.
TikTok, by far the most downloaded, most used, most beloved app on phones in America right now.
Here's the one existential problem. TikTok is owned and controlled by Chinese tech giant ByteDance.
It's an inconvenient truth to all the TikTok duetters out there.
This is not good for NyQuil chicken challengers.
And this is the inconvenient truth. It's that America's biggest foe controls the app Americans love most.
That's the inconvenient truth.
It is. And Jack, we know what would happen if the roles were reversed.
If the roles were reversed and the most popular app in China was American owned,
Oh, we know what China would do. What would China do, Jack?
China would ban that app immediately.
It's already done. They would have banned it.
Just like they banned Facebook, Google, New York Times. They even banned the latest Top Gun sequel.
And it was a really good sequel, and we don't get that many great sequels these days.
No,
we don't.
we don't.
Well, to sprinkle on a little more context here, 2 years ago, Donald Trump threatened to ban TikTok, but it didn't end up happening.
No, it didn't. But the New York Times just revealed in reporting that the Biden Justice Department is close to a new deal with TikTok to keep TikTok operating.
Here's the deal. If TikTok wants to not get kicked out of the United States, but wants to keep its Chinese ownership, it's gotta follow 3 conditions.
Nick, what are the 3 conditions?
Jack, I'm so glad you asked. The first condition, TikTok must store its data on American soil, on U.S. located data servers in America with like American security guards.
If China's Communist Party wants to download Tom Brady's TikTok activity,
Which they might.
they can't because it's in America.
Condition number 2, TikTok must let Oracle, an American tech company that owns servers, monitor any changes to its core algorithm.
If the algorithm starts cranking up videos critical of U.S. democracy,
Ding, ding, ding.
that's going to be a red flag. Push notification goes to the White House.
Now, condition number 3 was kind of the most shocking of all these conditions on TikTok.
That's right. TikTok must hire a board of independent outside security experts.
And that board reports to the U.S. federal government.
A private company having a direct line of oversight from the White House is unprecedented.
All right, Jack, we got the Department of Transportation, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Addison Rae makeup tutorials.
The D-O-double-T.
The old D-O-double-T, Department of D'Amelio. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at TikTok?
The fear about TikTok is that it's a Trojan horse.
Besties, the real concern about TikTok is that China could subtly spread propaganda that harms the United States.
Because a majority of U.S. phones are already viewing TikTok for hours a day.
So just imagine if China wanted to influence American opinions, they could do so pretty subtly wielding TikTok.
China could run a covert operation,
Right.
but using algorithms, not secret agents.
Now, they wouldn't flash Chinese propaganda videos on everyone's screen.
That'd be way too obvious. They wouldn't do that.
Way too obvious.
Instead, they would salt and pepper our TikTok feeds with divisive content here, misinformation there.
And since the algorithm is so customized for each of us, they could target voters here, but not journalists over there.
And it could all happen without us really knowing that it's happening.
TikTok is already a Trojan horse downloaded on all our phones.
The threat is what could sneak in with it. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
A lot of Yetis don't realize how much prep work goes into this pod.
We spend hours every morning jumping in T-Boy style to earnings reports, CEO tweets, breaking news headlines.
Yeah, Jack and I are toggling tabs like you toggled IM convos in 2004.
Having 8 tabs open can be stressful. You don't need that, especially when investing.
Robinhood offers it all in one app.
Whether you want to trade options, ETFs, or stocks through Robinhood Financial,
Or you want to buy some Bitcoin on Robinhood Crypto.
you can do it all on the Robinhood app.
If you're not investing in Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.
For our third and final story of this T-Boy, Harley-Davidson has officially spun off its electric motorcycle division.
It's called Livewire, and it's the first ever electric hog stock.
All right, Jack, you know how you know if people love your brand. You don't need a survey. I'll tell you that. You don't need a survey.
Yeah.
They tattoo it on a bicep. That's how you know.
Harley Davidson knows they have loyal customers because they branded themselves.
It says mom, and then it's got a picture of a chassis.
But Harley, the historic Wisconsin-based motorcycle company, 10 years ago, they created the first ever electric motorcycle.
Yeah, and they named their first ever electric motorcycle Livewire. It was a different brand.
They didn't want to confuse electric motorcycles with the big burly Harleys.
They're a little insecure about that. But today, they are now letting that electric motorcycle brand ride free off into the sunset.
They spun off Livewire from Harley into its own publicly traded separate company with its own stock.
Jack, does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, it does. The first ever pure play electric motorcycle stock is Livewire.
It is, and it's worth $1.8 billion. Just started trading yesterday.
Now, they sell 2 key products. An adult electric motorcycle for about $20,000.
It looks Harley-ish, but it makes an electric purr, not a loud yell.
And then they also sell electric mountain bike things for kids.
This has wilder gift potential on it in like 3 years, Jack.
Well, it's $3,000, so we'll ask the Podfather to buy that one.
It's a little ripper electric mountain bike for up to $3,000.
But Nick and I looked at Livewire, and we were generally stumped on one big question about its business.
This is what we couldn't figure out because it may be the most important question of them all.
Who's going to buy an electric motorcycle?
How is the what is the who is their customer?
So here's what we did. We looked at who buys regular motorcycles.
So we jumped in T-Boy style. And according to 2019 research, the typical American motorcycle rider is 50 years old.
And they're about 80% male, and 80% of them don't have a college degree.
Which begs the question from us, is that who Livewire is going after?
Are they going after the same blue-collar boomer dads that Harley's going after?
Are they looking at your Uncle Gregory? Because I don't think your Uncle Gregory is looking at them.
I don't think that's a good move. And it turns out, no. Livewire is going after the exact opposite type of customer that Harley's going after.
It is literally the opposite. Slide 13 of their investor presentation, Livewire, says they are targeting several years younger.
And then they also say that they're going after early adopters who respond well to education, which sounds different than the Harley
In
company.
fact, they are targeting people who absolutely never have had, will have, or have any interest in a Harley Eagle tattoo.
They're targeting like millennials and Gen Z who have a latte art temporary tattoo.
They're targeting millennials who put a Lisa Frank on their leg at the age of 32. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our unicorn buddies over at Livewire?
This isn't a shallow waters situation. This is a blue ocean opportunity.
New market, new customer, new product. Besties, everything about Livewire's future is unknown.
It's like a blue ocean. It is deep, it is vast, it is uncertain.
Blue ocean opportunities are the rare occasions of an entirely brand new market.
Different than shallow waters. Shallow waters, you can see the predators lurking. You can see how many fish are out there to catch.
Totally. Well, a blue ocean, it's different. The opportunity is vast and it is deep.
The blue ocean, for that reason, is a major risk too.
It is.
Because you're all alone out there. The threats are unknown. Who knows how you're going to do?
Well, Livewire, they plan to sell only 1,000 electric motorcycles this year. It's a brand new market.
But it's on a voyage into a blue ocean opportunity.
Jack, can you and the department of TikTok whip up the takeaways for us over there?
Domino's Pizza has proven that pizza fatigue does not exist.
Pizza always trends.
For our second story, to continue operating in the US, TikTok must follow 3 conditions.
Because TikTok could become a Chinese Trojan horse.
And our third and final story, Harley Davidson just kicked Livewire out onto its own into the stock market.
Young Livewire, it has itself a blue ocean opportunity. Now, time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by Martino Pietropoli over in Italia.
All right, Lamborghini. It's one of the finest luxury vehicles in the whole world.
But founder Ferruccio Lamborghini had an idea, a marketing hack, when Lamborghini launched its first luxury car.
He was so focused on customer satisfaction that if a customer's car broke down, he would fly a mechanic to you to fix it.
Like if your Lambo hit a rock in France, they would fly out a mechanic from Italy that day to Paris.
If your chassis got dinged up in Spain, they would fly someone out in the morning to fix it that same day.
It was Lamborghini's idea of the ultimate luxury advertisement.
Get this, Nick. The mechanic apologized for the issue, fixed it, and then they sent you another apology card saying, I'm sorry you had this issue.
Handwritten?
Handwritten.
Yetis, if a car mechanic takes a flight from Milan to fix your chassis out in Sweden, you're going to tell people.
You're going to tell people. And that's why it was a brilliant marketing hack. Ultimate customer satisfaction. Kind of expensive.
Yeah. It was costly. They could have run a TV ad. Yetis, you look fantastic today. And if you find 7 minutes after we're done whipping up the takeaways, we would love if you'd fill out our survey.
The link to the survey is right in the description of this episode.
Because Jack and I only care about 2 things.
And one of them is you.
The other is chassis.
Nick and I, we'll see you tomorrow.
Before we go, Yeti Sean Bob just adopted a dog down in San Mateo.
Who's a good boy?
And Spencer Blair passed their Series 65.
Not an easy test.
No, and Niz Chalsey just moved to Chicago for a new job over at Tesla.
An happy 3-year anniversary to Ahmed and Mahia in the Bay Area.
And Cash Deneshman just got a new job in auditing over in Oklahoma City.
And happy birthday to Trevor, who's moving from Atlanta to California. Happy moving. Get that U-Haul.
And a happy birthday to Hir Mehta, turning 28 in New York City. Big party downtown.
And happy birthday to Mrs. Tiagi in Jaipur, India.
And Verdi Atienza's turning 41 in Chesapeake, Virginia.
And happy 40th to Prasant Pays in Denver, Colorado.
And Titus Troy was just born to 2 legendary Yetis, Lucas and Aaron Troy, in lovely Hudson, Ohio.
We saw a pic of this newborn.
Yeah.
It's a pod son if I've ever seen one.
That's a golden bassinet.
And to anyone else celebrating something today, make it a T-boy.
Celebrate the wins.
This is Jack. Nick and I both own stock of Robinhood. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
A lot of you listen to our show while you're driving.
2 hands on the wheel. Keep it 10 and 2.
You might be cruising Chris, no rush, stay in the right lane.
Or you might be Darlene from Duncan, dotting from lane to lane.
Yeah, there are different drivers on the road. There are different investors too.
Maybe you're cruising down the long-term lane with stock investing, or maybe you're a more advanced full-speed trader.
Well, the Robinhood app helps put you in the driver's seat wherever you're at in your investing journey.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, all investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned by or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.
Doing logistics.
You take this next one.
I was wondering
You gotta take this next one.
I was wondering how long you let me just be like the backseat guy.
It just reminded me of my wedding when Tim didn't give a speech and was the only person not to give a speech, but was like the hype guy. Every time someone got up, he was like this. He was just kind of like the hype guy. You're like, yeah, another birthday.